Yeah, obviously a huge win for our program, for these young men that's worked extremely hard. We do understand and we're not oblivious to the fact that each and every night we step out here from now on, we can beat anyone, but anyone can also beat us. And, you know, we kind of come with the focus of Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So we play to the final horn, and we just got off to a great start. And, you know, it's not a lot about coaching. It's just about having two good men as captains that's hungry, that's hurt, that still have pain lingering from last year, and we're not going to shy away from that. We're not going to come up here and be politically correct and say, no, it didn't bother us. It's like breaking up, or it's like your ex-girlfriend leaving you, you know, for another guy. You never get over that. You know, you move on, but you don't get over that. So obviously, you know, we played really well. I thought we shot the basketball extremely well. I thought we really defended. And, you know, I just wanted our guys to guard without fouling. I think 13 of their 23 points came up from the free throw line in the first half. So we got to get better in that attribute. But overall, just a competitive effort, man. And when they play that way, you know, it's infectious, and it permeates to the bench. And, I mean, it was just an overall great win.
When you see your coach on the sideline kind of playing defense almost as hard as you guys or moving up and down, what does that do for you as a player? How does that kind of trigger the whole team?
It's not just in games that happens, you know. So it kind of looks weird to you guys because it's like, whoa, it's a dude. The coach is wilding over there, but it starts in practice. He's just as energetic as we are, and when you have, you know, your leader doing those things, and in practice, if the ball rolls out of bounds, he might dive on it, you know. So if he's doing that, then, you know, we can get on the floor a little bit more. So that's where it starts. If the head man has that kind of enthusiasm and energy, then it's infectious.
Jeremy, follow up. Coach, can you just speak to just that your defense, starting the game out trying to rally your team to?
Yeah, I wasn't. You know, I ain't come here to play defense, but it just so happened I wasn't really dressed for the part. But you know, it just fuels, man, and just an energy. And you know, my wife told me something, the NJIT game, and I never forget it. And it's the second time actually, because my mom don't know anything about basketball, but a couple of years ago, I had a sinus infection against Michigan, and we were on the road. And it was a televised game, and in the second half, I was just sitting down on the bench, and we ended up losing. And my mom said, "You lost that game," and I was like, "What?" We played Michigan, and she was like, "No, you got to understand that your team feeds off you when you stand up." She said, "I don't know nothing about basketball, but I know that." And I wasn't feeling well at NJIT. We played pretty well. We beat them, but the second half, we kind of got careless, and I sat down. So no more sitting down for me. I just got to be up and be energized, and I just think they feed off of that. And I feed off them as well.
In the front row.
Jeremy, I was going to say, in the matchup early in February against Howard, you were in foul trouble throughout that game. But tonight you got off to a fast start. You know, how were you able to kind of do that tonight?
You know, I was in the game tonight, so, you know, I got open shots and I just knocked them down. Teammates found me and we ran the break, got a couple easy layups. So I ended up with big numbers.
Were you motivated to go out there and show people who the player of the year was tonight? You came out looking like LeBron in the first half.
No, I wasn't really motivated, you know, to prove. You know, I feel like I've already proved that because I'm player of the year. But, you know, I just want to go out there and play hard for my team, you know, and get the win.
Emanuel, can you talk about what it is to play with a guy like this? You guys play off each other so well.
We go back 4, even longer than that. And he makes my job easy. You know, I get like headlines and records and all of that from getting assists, but the only thing about assists is you can't get those alone, you know. So I can't get that without him shooting the ball and scoring the basketball. So, you know, he helps me out, you know.
He helped me out too, so.
Oh, my goodness. I'm getting nauseous.
What does it mean to have a senior squad? How important is it for you to be successful this year, knowing that you lose a good portion of your team?
Well, it's huge. These two guys to my left, they are the first 4-year basketball players that I've ever coached within the program. And what comes along with that is knowledge and a lot of wisdom. And when you can see things before it happen, you're quicker, you're faster, and you can beat teams to the punch. And right now, this guy beside me, number 32, he can run my practices. I mean, he knows me well enough that he knows what's next, you know, and he leads the team. And I jumped on him. We beat Bethune early in the year, probably by like 20-something points. And the next day at practice, I flipped on both of them, and they just didn't know. And I told them they're better than what they're showing. You know, as leaders, you have to play with a chip on your shoulder. This is your last time around. And you guys have probably interviewed someone, and then the reality sets in on this podium that this is my last game. And you don't want to take any regrets with you along with that. And that's what they're doing this time around. And it just goes through our team. It's like a vein. They like the veins, you know, and they both have incredible personalities. So if they go out, if they go to a party with the team, if they walk to the other side of the club, the whole team go to the other side of the club. That's just the natural leadership. And I try to get them to understand that it has to be led in a positive manner, you know, with this team, and it's just fueling our team pretty much.
Does that mean that Emanuel's going to be back as a grad assistant next year?
Well, we're going to try to get him a red. I think he jammed a finger, so we're going to try to get him a red shirt year or something, because he jammed a couple of fingers as a freshman or something. So we'll look that up. But I would love to have him back, man. You know, he has a personality and the wherewithal to go out here. And he's a people's person. Like, he just spoke to 25 people in the hallway. We're in Norfolk. I'm like, dude, where you know these people from? So he knows everyone, and that's just his personality. So he can do anything that he wants in life.
Coach, in a game like this, when you have a veteran squad with your team against a team with so many freshmen, talk about how much experience could be a factor. Well,
you know, it can go both ways. I think what we saw in the Super Bowl with the Seahawks and the Broncos had the experience, and Seattle just didn't have any. But, you know, I guess sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. You know, in our situation, I think what's fueling these young men is the pain from last year. And it wasn't necessarily we owe anybody outside of our program anything, but it was just we didn't play our best basketball. And you only get one shot at that. So when that second time come around, you'll do anything to avoid that same pain. You know what I'm saying? And we made shots. We got after it on the defensive end of the floor, and that really settled everything down. So the experience factor, I thought our guys just, I mean, there were times that we looked like we were in McDougal Gymnasium back in Durham, you know, and that's what I want them to do. And I told them when they get after it on the defensive end of the floor, then, you know, it'll appear that way.
That's what I said. But back to this knowledge and wisdom and all of that comes from with me and Germ. It comes from probably about 4,000 miles of running throughout the last 3 years, steps and sprints and 17s. So, you know, at the time we me and Germ running steps, running stadiums while everybody else at practice, everybody else gone, and we looking down like, what is this for? Like, why he hates us? And, you know, now all of that's paid off, you know. So now when I see somebody that was my age or making the mistakes that I made when I was that age, I can correct them, you know. So that's what he means when he says I can run the practice. Instead of him having to jump on somebody, I can go ahead and catch him first. Like, hey, listen, you got da-da-da-da. And it makes it easy. It makes it a lot better when one guy isn't just chewing everybody out.
Coach, I know a few weeks ago you said you had to jump these two guys because of lack of effort. They haven't relapsed since then?
They haven't. They haven't. And, you know, last year, in all honesty, I just thought we had an immature basketball team. You know, I know you guys look at the classification, say junior, senior, da-da-da-da, but, you know, you know like I know, it doesn't chronologically, it don't represent your maturity. It's just about your experiences. And last year we were immature. Our shoot-around was awful last year. Our practice was awful. You know, we were pouting. You know, it was countless things that we had run-ins going into the game, so we wasn't ready to play. This year, it's none of that. And now we still have a lot of meat on the bone, and we still have some outstanding teams that we have to face. But, you know, we just want to put ourselves in a position where if someone beats us, they're going to beat us, and we're not going to beat ourselves. And it starts with these two.